Now, will it be able to pick up your questions or?
It will.
Okay.
It'll be over here.
He
So my
said,
name is Christopher again.
Alan Klein. Glad to meet you, Christopher.
So, how old were you again when you said Mr. Kennedy got shot?
I was a sophomore in high school, and we were in Fort Worth, and Kennedy had landed in Fort Worth that morning.
Okay.
And then he drove from, or they drove him and Jackie, from Carswell Air Force Base in Fort Worth over to Dallas, where he was going to speak. I was in biology class, and in the morning, they, over the loudspeaker, had the radio broadcast was, John F. Kennedy and Jackie have left Carswell Air Force Base. They will be arriving in Dallas, at a certain time. And so that was it. That was in the morning. And about in the afternoon, we were in class, and came over the loudspeaker. We have an announcement to make. President Kennedy has been shot. School is out.
Did they say he was shot or just assassinated?
At the time they spoke, he had just been shot. It took several minutes or almost an hour before it came through that he had been killed. Because he had been, with anybody, you're not going to be pronounced dead until you get to the hospital. Of course, it's the President of the United States, so they're not going to make that judgment until later on. But then they came on later and said, and I don't know if you've seen them on TV, but where they said, the president has died or whatever.
What was your first thought as soon as you heard that he was shot? What went through your head?
It's unbelievable. You don't believe it.
Yeah, your heart dropped, right?
Yes.
It was like, wow.
Being that young, the president of the United States wasn't that important to us.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We're students. I'm worried about, the next class passing a test, playing baseball and stuff. You don't even think about it, but what hits you is it was here. It was right there in Texas. It's not far away. And so, of course, the next day we tried to drive down there and see Delhi's, all that. They wouldn't let us anywhere near it and everything, just being a class kid.
Did they close all the roads and stuff?
No, they closed off the entire downtown area.
Wow.
Around that area, and it was closed for probably several weeks.
Closed for several weeks?
Yeah.
More than a month, huh?
It's very possible that particular area, the school book depository, Delhi Plaza, the grassy knoll and all that was closed off for a long time, yeah. And now, and of course what the repercussions of that is I was from Fort Worth. The Dallas Cowboys were just starting out. It was their third year, but everybody in America hated Dallas, Texas. I mean, they hated Dallas. It was like every citizen in Dallas had shot the president, and it was kind of a strange feeling because they would boo any sports team that was from Texas, and it shows how people, are. Society is. It's the same way now. If people don't change, the stigma of he was killed there, and it was just amazing. And my wife knew Lee Harvey Oswald. She's a little bit older than I am, and her best friend and her cousin, Eddie Lou, dated Robert Oswald, who was his older brother, and little Lee Harvey came kind of tag along. He was like the little brother, the little guy that just get out of the way, I'll give you a quarter, go away, just a little pest. He's kind of a little jerk. And he was 12, 13 years old. And of course this happened in '63, and I think he was 24, 25, come back from